Hey everyone, this video is going to be building a micro home on a lake. I recently made a video that was building a Roman villa, and one of the main features of that house was like having a lot of water right by the house, like swimming pools, bathing pools, fountains. And I don't know, I really wanted to build a little house that was just completely surrounded by water. That would be just like a really tranquil, quiet place to live. So I decided to make it a micro home, so it would be like a really small home. So there'd be enough space on the rest of the lot to have a really large lake without having to use an absolutely massive lot, because I wanted to just use a smaller lot as well. And then I wanted to have this like little grassy passageway mini bridge thing that would lead like from the road curving through the lake to get up to the house. The other reason I wanted to build a micro home was because I actually built a micro home a little while ago, maybe a month or so ago, and I ended up putting kind of a lot of essential furniture outside in order to keep the house officially like the specifications of a micro home, which is 32 tiles. So for example, like I put like a outside eating area in that house with like a kitchen kind of on the deck, which is kind of weird, but it was kind of a like living off the land, roughing it in the woods a little bit kind of feel. So like the main eating area for preparing food and just sitting and eating was outside. But with this house, I wanted to try and have like everything inside the house. It's kind of a bit more of a challenge to fit everything in, to have the house like fully functional and usable for at least one sim in just like 32 tiles. So yeah, that's why I wanted to build a micro home again. I initially thought really briefly at the beginning that I might like raise up the terrain in the center of the lake to put the house on it, but then I don't know, I decided against that. I thought it would be better if the house was like literally just sitting next to the water, almost like the lot in Vacation Island that's like a campground, and there's two tents just in the middle of a lake. Like the lake is kind of curving around the tents, so you're literally like sleeping right next to the water. I just think that would be a really like calming experience. So I kind of had that partly in mind as well when I was building this. But then at the same time, I did kind of have a little bit of extra space on one side of the house. So whoever lives here actually has like a little bit of a garden. There's like a few plots of earth to like plant some seeds and a few flowers and shrubs and things that are not at all like essential for gameplay. It's just an activity for the sim to do. Then the furnishings that I used in the house are quite simple and fairly basic, but actually not the absolute cheapest of everything. I decided not to use like the cheapest fridge, for example. I used the white fridge just because I thought it looked a little nicer. And the bed is actually quite nice. It's quite comfortable. It's the one that you'll see on Vacation Island in the lodge and the Winter Wonderland lots. And it's pretty cozy and quite rustic. And I think I just have a thing for rustic things. But then, yeah, some of the furniture is quite basic and kind of at the cheaper end of the scale, like the wicker chair and the really cheap TV, and the stove is also quite cheap. But I did want to keep the price of the house down overall, so it is like completely a starter home, and it ended up being just over 14,000 simoleons. I didn't put a sink in the bathroom just to save space, because I made the bathroom just literally 3 tiles big with just literally a toilet and a shower. So you are going to have to go and wash your hands in the kitchen after using the toilet, but the house is so small, so I don't think it's too much of a problem, and I don't imagine you'd have more than 2 people living here, absolute max. Probably just one person, to be honest. One person who just likes solitude and peace and quiet and nature. Then the lake itself, initially, because I had just like placed water all over like the entire lot, but I went back and just like kind of sculpted the lake a little bit and added some like trees sitting in the middle of the lake, kind of like other like mini islands in the lake that you can't access, but make the lake look a bit more maybe lively and interesting. And also some lily pads and like reeds, kind of like the places like the natural habitat for like wildlife or something, not like a man-made pond. So yeah, there we have a micro home on a lake. Do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. and I will see you in the next one.